Hello and welcome to Ascended Astrology. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Leo rising, Pluto's recent ingress into Aquarius, and then we'll take all of this information over to the DMT codes to ascend it and be able to hold a frequency for you to attune your consciousness to. So let's get into it. For Leo, the planet of transformation, meaning Pluto, is going to be transiting your seventh house of one-on-one relationships, partnerships, and marriage. This house can also be seen as people who you consult with, so lawyers or doctors or psychiatrists, things like that. Like I said, Pluto is a planet of transformation. He is depth, he is intensity. He, is coined as the destroyer in astrology, and we'll kind of talk more about how we're shifting that later on in the video. But kind of feeling this in your seventh house of one-on-one relationships, there is a lot that wants to shift here. So with this transit, we can see kind of either a lot of transformation coming through one-on-one relationship or a lot of transformation coming through as like little bite-sized pieces through several different one-on-one relationships. This is a 20-year cycle. Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years. So even though it may feel intense or powerful or really strong right now, doesn't necessarily mean that you need to make all of these changes right now or necessarily like uproot everything right now. Kind of just feel into it, see what wants to come through, and go from there. So with this transit, a crumbling of a marriage or business partnership is definitely possible. And with that, I would just say, remembering that Pluto doesn't necessarily destroy things personally. Um, this is where the cycle of death and rebirth is needed. So we'll see shifts. Like it's not Pluto's not coming in to destroy your marriage if it feels that way. It just means that there are some shifts that are ready to happen, and the tighter that you hold on is just going to create more suffering. So no, I'm not saying like go and divorce your husband tomorrow and be like, well, Pluto told me to. It's just that with this, there's some information wanting to come through. There's some higher shifts wanting to come through, and the space will be made whether we like it or not. So it's easier sometimes just to go along with the shifts and be open to new possibilities and new perspectives. Okay, so speaking of marriage, so not necessarily like the crumbling and rebirth aspect, but marriage in general is going to be colored by this. So this will be different for everyone. I could see this kind of being okay. So it may come in very strongly for some couples who may not be able to deal with that. So what I mean by that is like some couples are going to thrive under this energy of intensity, and some couples are going to kind of flounder under this energy of intensity. So just being aware of that. And another way, okay, that this can play out is how you are right, because we're looking at transformation. We're looking at it through a lens of one-on-one relationships. So going to people to help you transform, be a psychiatrist, spiritual healers, whatever, whoever you go to help you transform. The only, I guess, word of caution here would be to make sure that with the power that's at play, not to take your issues to one of those people and expect them to transform you, right? We always want to have our sovereignty and our authenticity and our own power. Like it always starts here. So yes, you may get a lot out of working one-on-one with some kind of healer, doctor, whatever. But just always remembering to take responsibility for your own transformations. Okay. And then on the programmed shadow aspect of this transit, um, could show up as a show out with an enemy. So my best advice is do not engage, right? And this is the old paradigm of enemies in general, because with enemies there has to be, there has to be tension and there's ego at play there. If just the concept of dealing with an enemy is very egoic. So look at what's showing up and do your best to allow the shift to occur rather than giving it control over you. So if I'm just living my day, living my life over here, and somebody shows up that could be perceived as an enemy, look at what level of consciousness are you observing that belief through, right? Because if we are perceiving somebody showing up as an enemy, we already know that we're in judgment and we already know that is programming. Um, so yeah, just kind of play with that. If this happens to come up for you, um, how much power are you really giving that person just by labeling them an enemy to start with? Okay, and then my favorite aspect of this transit is that you can use it in self transformation by seeing everyone as a mirror. So, what is showing up for me based on how I am perceiving that which I am receiving from others? And then ultimately remembering that we always have the choice to choose how we react to those around us. So, if somebody is coming into your life and you feel like there's tension or there's drama or there's that power conflict, you're having issues with one-on-one relationship during this time, um, just remembering that it's a mirror and that you can always turn it around and be like, okay, what part of me is playing out or is creating this um, situation with this other person? Okay. All right. So we are going to move into the DMT shift here, and the shift code for Leo rising is going to be 5227. So again, I said we'd talk more on this, but 22 is the ascended version of Pluto. So instead of seeing him as a destroyer, death and rebirth, a conqueror, we're shifting this into he is creator and creation at the same time. Okay, I'll kind of just leave it at that. So you do not have to understand any of this intellectually. Um, these are all these symbols are different frequencies, and we are just going to consciously attune to them. So we're going to start here. Go ahead and close your eyes and place hands on heart if that's comfortable. And we're going to breathe in a white blue light. So breathing in a white blue light in through the nose, across the brain, and down the spine, and out through the heart. Just going to breathe in that white blue light a couple more times. And each time we breathe in the white blue light, it is raising the frequency of the spinal fluid. Breathing in one more time, that white blue light, watching it trace along the brain, down the spine, out through the heart. Okay, so going ahead and opening up your eyes and connecting with the first code. So just softening the eyes and allowing yourself to see the code and attune to it consciously. So you can see this as matching the frequency of the code. Once you feel that the frequency of the code has been matched, Going ahead and closing your eyes, bringing the 5 in through the center of the forehead, into the pineal gland, and allowing it to spin. Watching as it spins, as it releases the 5. This is the shift and the change. And you can see it as being released from the pineal gland, entering every cell of the body. Okay. You can go ahead and open up your eyes again and take in the next code, which is going to be 22. So just softening the gaze and connecting with the 22, creator and creation at the same time. And once you feel that you have matched the frequency, closing your eyes, bringing the symbol into the center of the brain, moving it into the pineal gland, and allowing it to spin. And as it's spinning, the 22 is releasing its frequency. Just watching as it turns on that ionic grid, connecting the electrons in every part of the body, moving this frequency into every cell. And again, you don't have to understand it, just feel it in the body. Okay. Our last code is going to be the 7. So going ahead and opening up your eyes one more time and gazing at the 7, tuning the frequency, matching it. Once you feel you've matched the frequency of the symbol, going ahead and closing your eyes, and bringing the symbol in through the center of your brain into your pineal gland, watching as it spins, creating this clear channel. As the 7 releases its frequency through the body, lighting up that quantum body, allowing the frequency to move into every cell. Okay. So again, that code was 5227. And the point of this is to create an energetic pattern, right, to be able to consciously attune to. So my hope is that if any of these situations may come up, to have a supporting frequency to be able to consciously shift into. So now that you have attuned your body and turned on that quantum body with this frequency, you can then follow it consciously, just moving, pushing your consciousness into this frequency to attune. Okay. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.